District's community library. I would like to tell you about this book, The Boy Who Dreamed of Infinity by Amy Alsner, illustrated by Daniel Miares. This is a true story about a young boy who grew up in India in 1887. He asked a lot of questions like, what is small? And what is big? And how many numbers are there in the universe? He is the little boy who grew up to be the brilliant mathematician who invented infinity. This is a great book if you have an inquisitive child, one who's interested in mathematics, or who just always thinks of the most interesting and impossible questions, some of which have no answers. Read this story to discover what can really happen when you look at the questions and the answers that might in fact be there.
Hi, my name is Maggie and I work at the Vancouver Community Library. One of my favorite books of this year is called 13th Street, Battle of the Bad Breath Bats by David Bowles. It is the first in a series, and it's about a girl named Malia who, along with her cousins, is visiting their aunt for the summer. And one day they decide to go try to find the local water park while their aunt stays home to do some work. And on their journey to the water park, they find a street that doesn't exist on any map, and they can't find a way out. So in order to get out, they have to face a series of challenges, puzzles, bad guys, and it kind of reminded me of a video game as I was reading it. I like a few things about this book. One is it's a little bit spooky, but not too much. It has short chapters that have a lot of action and are quick to get through, and it has a bunch of Spanish words interspersed throughout the text. 13th Street is great for readers ages 6 to 8 who are just starting to read chapter books. There are lots of pictures scattered throughout, and you get a real sense of accomplishment when you finish a chapter. It's also good for older readers who crave a lot of action, like to get the story moving with short chapters, and want to build some confidence with their reading. So check out Battle of the Bad Breath Bats by David Bowles.
Hi friends, this is Heidi from the White Salmon Valley Community Library. One of my favorite books of 2020 is Just Like Me by Vanessa Brantley Newton. This is a collection of inspiring poetry, mainly for school-age kids. I love the bright, bold illustrations on every page, but my favorite thing about this book is all of the different girls it represents. Girls who feel sad or happy, lonely, scared, powerful. Girls from all different walks of life who can do amazing things, just like me.
Hey, my name is Maggie and I work at the Vancouver Community Library. One of my favorite books of this year was King and the Dragonflies by Kaysen Callender. I loved about a million things about this book, but I'm only going to tell you about a few today. We don't have a lot of time. This is the story of King, who's a middle schooler in Louisiana, and he's grieving the sudden death of his older brother, Khalid. Before Khalid died, he and King were really close, and Khalid would spend time telling King about his dreams of being a dragonfly flying through the bayou. So King, in his grieving process, ends up spending a lot of time searching for the dragonfly that is his brother in insect form. Before Khalid died, he also told King that he should probably stop being friends with Sandy because Sandy might be gay. And when Sandy goes missing in the story, King is forced to confront some difficult truths about himself, his family, and his town. One of the things that I really loved about this book is that there are a lot of really heavy issues interwoven into the story, like racism, homophobia, expectations of masculinity, child abuse, and grief. But it never feels didactic because Callender's characters are believably flawed. King's questions about his own sexuality are juxtaposed with some subtle and overt messages from his community and his family about what a man is supposed to be. And one thing Callender does really well, I think, is pinpoint the feeling that every child gets at some point in their life, some earlier than others, always under different circumstances, that someone that they revere is not perfect. I think this story would be great for readers ages 10 to 14 who like serious, realistic fiction with complex, fully developed characters and a vivid setting. So, once again, this is King and the Dragonflies by Kaysen Callender.
Hi, my name is Tracy and I am from the Vancouver Community Library, and I want to share with you one of my favorite books from 2020. The title is Our Friend Hedgehog, The Story of Us. It's written by Lauren Castillo, and it is an early chapter book. It has 128 pages, it's heavily illustrated, and it reminds me of a modern Winnie the Pooh. I'm going to show you the cast of characters. Here's our main character, Hedgehog, and his little friend, Muddy. Here's Beaver. And here's their friend, Annika Mae Flores, Owl, Mole, Hen, and her chicks. And it is a story of friendship, of bravery, and an adventure. I think it would make a perfect family read aloud, and it would also be really wonderful for someone who is just emerging as a reader. I hope you check it out.
Hi, my name is Lois Lampkin. I work at the Ridgefield branch of the Fort Vancouver Regional Libraries. I'd like to share with you a book that I have just found. This is Blue Daisy by Helen Frost. This delightful little book is just perfect for children who are just beginning to read chapter books. The sections are fairly small. They're told in two voices. The first voice is the voice of Sam, who talks in poetry, and the second voice is Katie, who talks in prose. There are wonderful pictures throughout the book. During the story, this little dog Daisy comes to their town, and Sam and Katie want to know more about the dog and will it be their friend. The story takes them on an adventure where they meet people who bake cookies and make friends. There's a lot of interesting turns in this book, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as I do. And oh, there's recipes at the back, so you can make the cookies too. Baking together is a wonderful way to practice math and science skills. Thank you.
I'm Elspeth here in the Vancouver Community Library, and my pick for chapter book for 2020 is The Case of the Missing Auntie by Michael Hutchinson. Did this one. It's actually the second in a series. The first one, The Case of Windy Lake, came out last year. And this is the follow-up one featuring the Mighty Muskrats are back again, though they're going to the big city this time. And it is excellent. I really appreciate the way that the author is able to weave together both really realistic struggles for kids of this age, about making friends, figuring out who to trust, and all of those very believable and very realistic elements, as well as bringing in a really age-appropriate and approachable way, some fairly dark aspects of history into a really fascinating mystery. So, enjoy.
Hi, my name is Holly and I am from the White Salmon Valley Community Library. The book I'd like to share is called We Dream of Space by Newbery winner Aaron and Trotta Kelly. This is the story of a family that is slowly starting to deteriorate, and all 5 of them are in orbit around each other. This story is told alternating perspectives of the 3 siblings. There is a set of twins and their older brother. The entire book is set against the backdrop of the Space Shuttle Challenger and its eventual explosion in January of 1986. This book would be great for kids who are in grades 5 through 8 who truly enjoy strong character development and getting to know the characters of their stories and understanding their complex emotions. I hope you get a chance to check it out.
Hello, I am Dina here at the Washougal branch of the Fort Vancouver Regional Library District. Today I'd like to tell you about one of my favorite books of 2020 in juvenile fiction called Glitch by Laura Martin. You might be familiar with her because she has written Float and Edge of Extinction series. This book involves time travel, and I was drawn to it because of that. The two main characters in this book are two 12-year-olds named Reagan and Elliot, and they attend the Glitcher Academy, and they cannot stand each other. They do not like each other one bit. One day, Reagan gets a note from her future self, which is highly against the rules, telling her that they must work together to save the future. This book is really fast-paced and fun. I think it would appeal to a wide variety of viewers. I really like the fact that it had real historical events in here, and I learned a little something about some things in history that I didn't know. And it's super fast-paced and fun. I would say it would be a great book for 10 years older and up. I would even put it into the hands of maybe somebody who doesn't think they like to read, because it really gets your attention. So, Glitch from Laura Martin. Try it out.
Hi, my name is Amanda from the Vancouver Mall Library, and this is Green Lantern Legacy by Min Lei and Andy Tong. When Tai Pham inherits his grandmother's jade ring, he quickly finds out that it's much more than it seems. Soon, he's drawn into a group of superheroes known as the Green Lanterns, and tasked with protecting the planet Earth from nefarious and otherworldly powers. I really enjoy how there is so much to take in with this book. Not only is there powerful and emotional artwork, but you also get to see bits of Vietnamese culture that have been woven into the story. And of course, the action scenes are top-notch, which you can expect from a great superhero comic. This will be a big hit with 8 to 12-year-old comic lovers, but teens and adults shouldn't pass it up either. It's a solid story planted firmly in the roots of friendship, compassion, and standing up for what's right. Right now, it's a standalone book, but I would love to read more about Ty's adventures.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth, and I work at the Woodland Community Library. I am here today to talk to you about a book called Primer. Primer is a graphic novel written this year in 2020. The words of this book are by Jennifer Murrow and Thomas Krajewski, and the illustrations are by Gretel Lusky. I would recommend this book for ages 8 and over. Primer is an origin story about a superhero. This is Ashley Rayburn, aka Primer, who is a foster child, and she, in the beginning of the book, discovers some foster parents that are right for her. When she goes home with them, she discovers a set of paints that give her superpowers. So Primer is really about her discovering her powers, making a new friend, and learning how to live with these new foster parents that really care about her. I really enjoyed Primer because it features this young girl character who I feel like we don't see a lot of in this genre. I also really enjoyed some of those bright paintings as she paints herself to get her superhero powers. If you know somebody who loves origin stories or superhero books, Primer is a great fresh take on the genre, and there will be other volumes coming out in the future. Happy reading!
Hi everyone, my name's Mandy from Cascade Park Library, and I'm just here to talk to you about one of my favorite books I read this year. I know a lot of you out there are familiar with Victoria Jameson's Roller Girl. It's an awesome graphic novel. Well, this year she teamed up with Omar Mohammed to come out with a brand new graphic novel for middle grade readers, and it is When Stars Are Scattered. When Stars Are Scattered is an autobiographical, full-color graphic novel. Jameson has teamed up with Omar Mohammed to bring to life his true story of life as a refugee. Omar and his brother Hassan have ended up in a refugee camp all by themselves after violence in their own village causes them to flee. Omar ends up taking care of his little brother, who doesn't speak and experiences multiple medical issues, including seizures. And over a 15-year period, we see Omar and Hassan grow up and attend school and see life as it progresses or doesn't in the refugee camp of Dudab. With vibrant colors and an even more vibrant storyline, you fall in love with Omar and Hassan and their whole community, and you celebrate with them and you're heartbroken with them. If you enjoy storylines with an emphasis on characters or based on real life people, you will not be able to put this beautiful book down. When Stars Are Scattered. Thanks, I hope you enjoy it.
The book that I want to talk about today is Prairie Lotus by Linda Sue Park. When author Linda Sue Park was a young girl, she became absorbed in The Little House on the Prairie books by Laura Ingalls Wilder. As a Korean American, she was uneasy about the racism toward Native Americans that was expressed by certain characters, especially Ma Ingalls. She notes that Prairie Lotus is my attempt to reconcile my childhood love of the Little House books with my eventual understanding of their painful racism. The story is written in the first person by teenager Hannah, who is half Chinese and half white. Her father brings her to La Forge, North Dakota, where he hopes to establish a dry goods store. As she adjusts to this new town in 1880s Dakota territories, she is met with both kindness and prejudice. She uses her skills as a dressmaker, learned at her mother's knee, to eventually make a place for herself. Hannah is a captivating heroine who walks a fine line. She wants to belong, but she also wants to remain true to herself. She fights to overcome bigotry with empathy and dignity. This compelling, well-written book is aimed at middle graders, but I think teenagers and adults will also enjoy this strong, independent, and insightful heroine.